Hi guys, so I've just got a quick update really. It's just about some of the projects that I've been doing. So I've been working with the ESP8266 and I've been using it with an ATmega 328 chip, or an Uno more specifically, but I want to be able to use it on its own. So I've picked up some MCP23008 chips and also the larger version, which is the 0017 I think. Now this is an I2C I/O expander. Now you can use it via SPI as well, but because we've only got two GPIO ports on here, we can only do I2C essentially. So it means that we can run our display on I2C and we can also run these chips via I2C. So it should give us 8 and 16 extra IO pins essentially. So we'll be able to have our buttons and we'll be able to have LEDs and other things triggered with these little chips. I've also got the audio cube that's still going. I haven't finished it yet. A few of the jumper wires came off, so I'm having to sort of fix that, but I need to create a case for it really so that I can sort of roll it. Oop, that's a bit loud. So I can roll it, but at the moment it's the software's all working, the power's working, everything about it's working. It's just it's not in a rollable format. I picked up some of these recently. These are MES bulbs, so it's miniature Edison screw bulbs. Now these are, I think these are 3.2 volt bulbs, and they're just really cute little torch bulbs, and I thought I'd use them instead of some LEDs for some of my projects. They came with a couple of the holders there, and they were only about £3 for 10, so they'll be nice to use at some point. I'm also going to resurrect a project that I was working on a long time ago. Now these are infrared LEDs here. Oh, sorry, no, those ones are normal white LEDs, and that one's an infrared LED there. And we've got an infrared sensitive LED there, so it's about proximity sensing. So these were all wired up with analog stuff coming out of the sensing LED there, and then the lights would become brighter or more dim depending on how far your hand was away. It used a TLC 5940 chip, which is this one here, which is a PWM chip for driving LEDs, and you can communicate with it via SPI or I2C, I believe. And it meant that I had, I think it's 12 outputs, PWM outputs from this little chip. So I'm going to resurrect that. That's why I bought this, the table actually. It's a glass table, and it was meant to be filled with LEDs underneath so that these would all shine through, but I never actually finished it. I've also got these. Now, these were for a robot. I only got them a couple of weeks ago. I've never actually made a proper robot. There was a terrible, here it is. There was a terrible attempt that I made a long time ago. It's really, really bad, but I learned a lot from it. So I've got some motors and some wheels, and I've got a dual H bridge there so I can run my motors and stuff. But I think I'm going to be using stepper motors for these little wheels. They fit onto the cheap stepper motors that you can get, which they're not going to be very powerful or anything, but I only really want it to move around the floor a little bit. And I've got this ball caster here, which will mean that it can sort of steer, and it only needs 2 driving wheels. And then lastly, we have this little guy. Now, it was my birthday yesterday, and my dad bought this for me. So I posted about it on Google Plus and on Twitter and said that, wouldn't it be great if someone bought me one of these? Well, he actually did go away and buy me this. So it arrived in the post. I don't really know how to use it yet. There's not much to it. There's a little SD card on the back. We've got some buttons here. There's an illuminated button there, and there's an ATtiny chip on there, which is ATtiny 861A, I think. I can't really read it properly, but that little guy will play WAV files from the SD card on the back, and it's all dependent on the buttons that you press here, and that denotes the file name. So he should be a little bit fun to play with. I think I'm going to put him in a big frame and then put him on the wall, maybe make him solar powered, I'm not sure, we'll see. Okay, guys, well, that's all I've got time for, really. Actually, that's all I've got at the moment. I haven't got anything extra for you. So if you've got any comments, please let me know. And otherwise, I will see you next time I finish something.